The devil's advocates whisper in the hall, where justice wears a mask and truth begins to fall. Every thread they pull, every lie they weave, in the courtroom's dance, who's left to believe? Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight. A photograph fades where the truth once stood, blurred lines between the bad and the good. The scales they tilt with every silver tongue, while the broken cry for a song unsung. Black robes sway like shadows on the wall, one wrong word and the mighty fall. Who's a sinner? Who's a saint? The jury's out, but the verdict's faint. Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight.
All right, everybody. It is another episode of Crimes After Dark, and my panel backstage is waving at me, letting me know that they can hear me, which is fantastic. I'm excited. This evening is going to be great, even though we're missing part of the family. We don't have JJ from State of the Deep. He is a musician and has other jobs as well, but he has a gig tonight, so he's out there playing music and singing. And by the way, I think he's pretty good. I haven't actually heard him perform, but I've heard him like sing in the car when we were doing a road trip. So, this guy's got some talent. So I'd like to see a show of his sometime. But anyways, he's doing his gig. We're doing our gig. We're going to get our panelists on here pretty soon. We're working on making sure, like the streamer across the bottom that says we're with special guests today, True Crime Cafe and Logan from BronxTails True Crime. We've got two special guests tonight. Dago's been a regular part of the show, and his group and our group, the story. We're like two peas in a pod and joined at the hip and brothers from another mother and all that stuff like that. But Logan, I've been watching her off and on for a little bit. To be frank with you, I don't have a lot of time to watch things because we're researching 5 or 6 different cases, and my nose is up legal documents ass all day long. YouTube, I just said swear words too early. Anyways, the point being, I like to try to avoid that in the first 60, 30s, 2 minutes. Anyways, point being, Logan's got a good thing, a good vibe. She covers Idaho 4, so we're going to talk a lot of Idaho 4 tonight. I am going to assemble the panel. I'm going to shut up here real quick, and I'm going to assemble the panel quickly. We're going to talk a little briefly about a new video that we dropped this morning in the Kentucky case, but then the rest of it will probably be Idaho 4. So for those of you who are tuning in for Idaho 4, it's a special night. We've got another YouTuber to get fresh perspectives on things perhaps and find out what she's been covering and what her hot buttons are. I know that one of the hot buttons is Nancy Disgrace. I don't think she calls her that maybe necessarily, but Nancy Disgrace and how she gets to make a living off of everybody's fucking tragedy, but we're a bunch of pieces of shit if we do the same thing. So there's that whole hypocrisy. So I'm going to bring Dago up. I'm going to bring Robin up. I'm going to bring One up. One's going to read us a monologue and kind of introduce also Logan from BronxTails, and they'll bring her up last. So poor girl has to sit backstage and just sit there and listen to a bunch of us talk for a while. But it is what it is. What do you got, Dago? Oh, you got yourself muted. You're yelling in the background. You got to unmute yourself. What's going on, man?
Forget about it.
Good to see you.
What is going on? Great to see you guys tonight. Thank you for joining us as always.
I'm pretty excited. I've been busy all day long, but I haven't been busy watching YouTube. But I have been busy in legal documents and website shit and writing and flying my drone, by the way, and crashing my drone. So I had my first crash with my drone and it survived just barely, but we're good there. But
That's
anything new in your life? Did you stream today?
I did. I went over body cams, some interviews, a little bit of that, a little bit of discussion. Of course, Idaho. Not a lot. I was sick yesterday, so I came back in slow.
Man, a lot of people were asking about you yesterday. A lot of
I
people.
heard. I'm very grateful to hear that. Very heartfelt. That means a lot, truly.
Yeah, you were definitely missed, and we're glad that you're feeling better. So that's fantastic. And I mean, obviously, you must be feeling better. Or you wouldn't be here, and you wouldn't be streaming today. So it's great to have you back. We're excited. Every now knows as well that you just had a rough day yesterday. Let's get Robin on screen. Robin, how are you?
Hello. I'm doing well, thank you. And I'm glad to have Dago back with us, of course.
Thank
Very
you.
much missed, sir. Yep. And I just excited about tonight. Happy to be here with everybody. Welcome on in, one and all, from all three channels, which just blows my mind. We're triple broadcasting, which is awesome.
Now that I'm thinking about it, this might be the first triple broadcast, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm trying to think if we've ever done it before.
I don't know. I think so. So.
A trifecta.
It's really cool.
I was going to say you call it some one thing, but we won't go there. I'll just leave that alone.
I was going to call it a threesome, but I didn't want to go there yet.
I don't want to freak out Logan too early. So
we're freaking adults here. Let's stop that crap.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I don't want to. You're going to go to bring her up, and she's going to be gone. I'm like, see what you did?
You're like, screw those guys. I'm not doing a threesome with Dago and
okay.
DA. Yeah, no, let's not go there. All right. Yeah, enough of that child's humor. Let's get one on stage. And I gotta pull stuff off of your face. No pun intended. There you go. How you doing?
Evening. Denison's, Meatballs, Robin, Lee, Dago, welcome back.
What's up, buddy? Thank you.
Glad you're feeling better.
Anything exciting happening to you today?
No, just normal running around doing errands and chores and normal Saturday.
We're gonna have to talk, by the way. We're gonna have to talk. You sent me a clip. I didn't even get to watch it because I started to scream at my screen when you sent me the clip, which was, some Yahoo now says there's a sexual motivation to Idaho 4. And I'm like, oh my God, Bill Thompson literally said, let me make it 100% sure there is no sexual motivation, none whatsoever. I want to be perfectly clear, people. There's no sexual motivation. And now they're like, yeah, maybe Brian Koberger didn't do it alone, and maybe there's a sexual motivation, and maybe there's another perpetrator, and maybe everything you've been told for fucking 3 years.
Joe Scott Morgan.
We're going to change everything.
Sexual motivation behind everything, so you got to leave it at that.
That's true. Maybe he goes from the Sigmund Freud school that everything is sexually motivated.
Say that there was a sexual motivation behind it. It's just what he is.
So I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't watch the video yet. You're going to have to fill us in on that. But I think you've got a monologue. You're going to read us in, and you're going to give us an introduction, right? For bringing Logan in, and there she can finally get to talk and go, you bunch of freaking 15-year-old boys, I'm not going on stage with you. I've already checked out. But anyways, go for it.
All right. Well, is it good to be alive in the den on a Saturday night? Here we go. Love you, Jackson, Juliana, and of course, my beautiful wife, as always. Welcome to Devil's Advocates, where justice isn't assumed, truth isn't clean, and the system never speaks with one voice. Tonight, we step into the shadows of Mickey Stein's and the killing of Judge Kevin Mullins, a courtroom turned crime scene. We return to the unanswered silence of the Idaho 4 case, where timelines fracture and certainty collapses. We examine Luigi Mangione and the death of Brian Thompson, a case wrapped in motive, power, and consequence. We confront the nightmare trail of Rex Heuermann, the face now tied to the legend of the Long Island serial killer. And we revisit Delphi, where Richard Allen stands at the center of a case that refuses to rest. These aren't just crimes, they're fault lines where law, power, and doubt collide. This is Devil's Advocates. We have a special introduction today for our new guests. So tonight we're joined by Logan, a voice shaped not by trends or outrage cycles, but by a lifelong need to understand why people do what they do when everything falls apart. Logan didn't arrive at true crime through spectacle. The interest began early, quietly, drawn to late night interviews, courtroom footage, and the uncomfortable spaces where psychology and violence intersect. Long before it was popular to speculate, Logan was already questioning motive, influence, and accountability. That instinct to stand apart from the crowd showed up early. While others accepted verdicts at face value, Logan questioned them. Not to be contrarian, but because certainty without scrutiny never felt honest. And that mindset still drives every analysis today. With formal training in psychology and real world experience, working as a drug and alcohol counselor, Logan learned how theory breaks down in practice, how behavior rarely fits neatly into headlines or talking points. Applying the DSM-V in real human situations forced a deeper understanding. People are complex, patterns repeat, and context is everything. Now working in the medical field, Logan brings a grounded, clinical lens to discussions of crime, especially when it comes to behavioral cues, body language, and blood spatter analysis. Not claiming mastery, claiming curiosity, the kind that doesn't stop at the first explanation. What makes Logan especially valuable at this table is balance, a skeptic who demands evidence, an empath who notices when narratives harm the wrong people, someone who will challenge bad logic just as quickly as she'll stand up for someone being misrepresented. Outside of analysis, Logan is adaptable by nature, experienced in disciplines that require control, precision, and awareness. That range shows up here, not as ego, but as perspective. Logan is also the creator behind BronxTails True Crime, a name rooted in observation and intuition, inspired by the bond with her dog Bronx, and the idea that sometimes you learn the most by watching closely and saying less. Logan doesn't come here to deliver answers. She comes to slow things down, to test assumptions, to sit in the discomfort long enough for better questions to emerge. And that's exactly the kind of presence this conversation demands. And with that, live from New York, it's Saturday night.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Very nice read in. I can't wait. Now we get to bring Logan on screen and we get to meet her and talk to her. Me for the first time. Dago, I think, has already had a go around or two. But for me, it's the first time going on camera with her. So here we are. There's Logan from BronxTails. I'm going to give you the center stage for a minute. Right. Like your full screen.
How am I supposed to follow that? I just say, yeah, what he said.
Yeah, you're going to be on like somebody's 80-inch screen right now. You're like all over their screen on my camera. So it's all
hey
good.
Guys,
how are you?
What's up? Good. I'm so happy to be here. So happy.
We're happy to have you as well. And like I said, what?
I didn't get nothing like that. What the hell, man?
I'm sorry. Hold on. Full screen, Dago.
No. I don't mean that. Like the whole introduction and everything. One. I was like, dude, this is awesome. And they're like, here's Dago. Here, guys. Here's Dago.
My ass.
It's a sign of meatballs.
We're still evolving and polishing.
Very awesome. Very awesome introduction, though. Truly.
Yeah, blame that on 1-1. I didn't ask him to do a monologue for Logan. So it's all him.
She has a great channel. She does great stuff, guys. So she deserved every bit of that.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I haven't watched a ton of people's stuff, but I can't remember how he stumbled upon you, but I think I got recommended. So YouTube's doing their job. They recommended you to me and I saw you and I was like, hey, she's got a pretty good vibe. And she's kind of like us in a lot of ways. We'll see. Yeah. I'm going to test you out. We're going to put you with their panel, but I'm pretty sure you're going to fit in just like the rest of us kind of thing. I know that you have a lot of the same feelings on it. So I thought it'd be cool to have you on with the show and see how you feel about the case. We're going to talk about some some of your opinions, because that'll be fresh to our people, maybe for those who haven't seen you. So hopefully you get some exposure to both of our channels even more, and then we get to hear some of your perspectives. Did one say you had drug and alcohol counseling experience?
Yes, many years.
That is super interesting, because again, I know you may not follow the case right now, but I just want to briefly talk about Letcher County, Kentucky. And we had a couple of locals that come on, and they explained to me what seemed to be a systematic pattern of abuse, where people in a poor county where drugs are readily available get easily trapped into the criminal system, and then they just kind of get churned over and over again. Once they get you trapped in the system, they just start abusing you and arresting you and adding more charges and more fees. And because it's a poor county, you can't afford to pay the fees, you make deals, and it becomes a juggernaut system, in which ultimately, in that case, and I'm sure you've probably heard, the deputies were allegedly abusing women on ankle monitors, telling them that they could make deals, sexual favors for getting off their ankle monitors because they couldn't afford to pay for the ankle monitors. If they didn't comply and have sex with the deputy, then they'd be rearrested for getting off their ankle monitor that they were let off of, and recharged with new drug offenses. And the deputy, Ben Fields, his sister worked in the drug court and helped arrest girls. And it's a whole predatory system. I wonder, in your history, if you've ever encountered stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely have. I've actually encountered it firsthand. I actually was charged with something that I didn't do, and fought and fought and fought. So in a sense, I understand Brian Koberger taking a charge to plea out, because it gets exhausting to fight for yourself when nobody else believes you within the whole court. But the probation system is almost worse than actually being in prison. Once you get caught in the probation system, it's just a revolving door. It's almost like impossible to get out of it. So I can understand, especially girls, wanting to do whatever favors, thinking that it's going to help them with their case, or get off this or get off that to return to their normal life. I can understand them accepting something like that to make it all go away.
It's horrendous. And from what I understand, we're just scratching the tip of the iceberg on that and that thing. This has been going on for decades and decades, probably longer than that. And it goes up higher than the judge, Kevin Mullins, who was shot and killed. It goes higher than just some bad deputies in the police department. But from what the locals say, everyone in the county, everybody in the community knows that this is happening, that there's sex parties and that girls get traded around and they get trapped into the system. It's a scary environment. And I just want to say again, kudos to those brave locals who are coming forward and telling their stories about being abused from when they were 16 or even maybe younger in some cases, groomed before they were 16, and then preyed upon by people in law enforcement when they were 16, because they were already groomed for that kind of lifestyle, and then trapped into a predatory system and churned through the system. And it's a nightmare, it feels like, in Letcher County over there. So, anyways, we had a video on that today drop. It's doing well. I hope we're getting eyes on that. We're going to continue to cover that case. So, but today is probably going to be Idaho 4, despite that. And by the way, Luigi Mangioni's case, that has big news going on there. All the cases are having big things going on. Rex Sherman's case and the Long Island serial killer case is very soon to begin. Ben Fields' case, the Delphi. I don't know exactly if they ruled on the appeal of Richard Allen yet. Have they ruled on the appeal that they're going to see it or not? Because I know that the attorneys filed the appeal, but I don't know if they've officially ruled on it yet. I don't think so either, but
no.
Anyways, let's talk to Logan about Idaho 4. I turned you on briefly today to kind of, maybe it was it yesterday's video or today's video? I saw a brief clip. Again, I don't have a lot of time, but I saw a brief clip where you were kind of ranting. You had the Gonzalez's featured on Nancy Grace's show, and you were talking about, and the part that I saw that resonated with me a lot was the hypocrisy of Nancy calling out YouTubers for making a living off of the families when she literally is making a living off the families.
Thank you.
Right. Like, how is that? How are we any different because she doesn't have the picture on her screen, but her just speaking about it, she's reaching many, many more people than I am or we are. And she's literally talking about the same thing we are, but we're terrible for it and she's okay.
I did that video the day before, you guys. I don't know if you saw it, Logan. I pulled up Nancy Grace's net worth. She's worth $25 million. So we're making
peanuts.
And you're gonna
Peanut
complain
dust.
about
I
us.
don't even think
Oh,
I can't even
God.
afford peanuts. I'm making peanut dust. I'm
My
not
house, my house.
You guys are making
inside-
something? What?
Not really, not really.
Not
My
really. No,
house-
I'm negative. I'm negative.
We bleed more money than what we make.
My house has
Yeah.
been inside her house 4 times, you guys, okay? And she's talking, and that's why she didn't say nothing, if you guys noticed. When they started complaining about that, she didn't say a word about that, but everything else she would complain about. That's quite interesting.
I
So
you know,
I
and,
have to say that because I went off about that the day before, like you wouldn't believe.
and her drama.
Yeah.
The pictures straight from hell. I'm like, oh my God, would you stop? Like you were just it's horrible.
Yeah. Thanks,
But you could've
Dago.
done-
Thanks,
you could've
Dago. I had to watch it twice.
I know. I'm sorry, but I had to go off about that. And then she looked. The thing that killed me the most, you guys, and I'm sorry, I have to say this too. She was like, "I'm gonna put this as easy as I can." But these pictures full of blood and gore, and I'm like, "Good God, you psycho!" What do you mean as good as nice?
That's
as possible?
gentle.
And I just looked, and you could see Steve's face go, "Huh?" Like I was, yeah, okay. Yeah, she's an insane person.
I couldn't believe. I think it was Jesse Weber who was interviewing Steve Gonzalez, and I feel like even I wouldn't do some of the shit they do. You know, when you think about those injuries, so many multiple stab wounds to your daughter's face. I'm like, Jesus, dude! Like even I wouldn't say that to somebody.
And then they have
like,
the gumption
what
to
the
go.
hell?
They say those things to him, and then they go, "How do you feel about this?" What do you mean? What kind of a question is that?
What the fuck?
It's insane. They're nuts. Every one of them, they're crazy.
They are.
Yep.
Right.
All right. But tell us how you feel, Logan. How do you feel
Yes,
about?
I'm sorry to
How do you
interrupt.
feel about making money off of the shame of victims and victim shaming and all the shit that you do for a living? Are you ashamed of yourself or what, man?
No, absolutely not. I'm bringing truth to the people who want it. So I feel just fine.
Yes. Amen.
So you said
Right
you
on.
have medical experience as well. How do you tackle these cases? What is your forte on your show that you really like to focus on and what give us a spin on what your show is for those who don't know you, what they can find on your channel.
So I like to obviously, if something drops and we have like a big new thing, I like to focus on that, right? But I like to go back to the beginning and pick apart each teeny tiny detail, because it almost seems like when you miss one or two of those teeny tiny details, it's almost like you feel out of the loop already. That's how many tiny details they are that make up the inconsistencies in this case. So I do like to focus on super little things because those are the ones that matter and make the inconsistencies. I want to make sure basically every single person in this whole community is all on the same page. So whether I play something of yours or Birdie's or Dago's or whoever it is, I just want to make sure everybody has the truth, but it's the same truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's I feel like that's a difference. I don't know. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I feel like it's a difference between what we're doing on these true crime channels as they try to shame us on mainstream media that they don't do, which is that we keep an open mind and we'll even say we might be wrong. Hell, I might be wrong about this theory. Maybe it's not true. Prove me wrong. Like here's my question. I'm just asking. And they don't do that on mainstream media. It's like, here's what happened. That son of a bitch did this. What a horrible thing. Tell us how you feel about that piece of shit who did this. And I'm like, wait a minute. We're just saying maybe it didn't happen that way. They can't do that. They've got a narrative to spin, and we're pieces of shit for keeping an open mind.
Yep.
Except for Howard Bloom now. Now he's
he can change his mind. Yeah.
Now he's made a turn, and
when you have a
going on Megyn Kelly. Yeah, going on Megyn
backpedal, right?
Right. Now
well, I feel like he's doing that so now he can write a new book and everybody will go buy that one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Do we know? Does anybody know how much money he made on When the Night Comes Falling? Did he make a crap ton of money, or was it just? I mean, I'll tell you this: it's not just the book sale, but he went on a bunch of documentaries because he wrote that book, and so every documentary in the world featured him as one of the guys who's the premier expert in the case because he wrote the book on the case.
At that time, it was only the second book that came out, so I'm sure he probably made a killing on it. Patterson's came after him, and Scott Green's chapter.
I see Logan research. Logan's literally researching right now. I can see it. I asked the question and she's like, light up.
I'm curious what he made on it. I am.
Yeah.
It says the specific financial details are private.
Oh,
of course. Of course.
That's what I was just looking up.
Look up what his Logan. Look up what his net worth is. That'll give you a basis of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That'll give you. I mean,
that's why I put that on Nancy because I'm sorry, Nasty, because when I looked that up, I expected it to be a couple 100,000, maybe not $25 million. And for them to make that statement sitting on her show, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Yeah, Twiz said private until the discovery hits. Probably true.
Well, he made a lot of money on it because it was an instant New York Times bestseller. So
they probably did that because of his name. Didn't he win a Pulitzer for something?
Oh, he's got some good work, because every time you ask anybody what his net worth is, they're like, it's not known and not public as but he has had information in Forbes and Bloomberg and other things, so he's making some money. Yeah, they're not going to give us his net worth, because you know why? It's so much they don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right.
He doesn't want anybody to know that he made all his money doing it.
And that's the part that drives me nuts. We get constantly shamed for talking about the case and saying, and what we mostly do is, wait a minute, you said in the beginning this, and now you're saying this. What changed? And why did you say this in the first place if it wasn't true? And we just keep pointing out the inconsistencies, and they're like, these sons of bitches keep pointing out the inconsistencies. Well, how about you stop making inconsistencies? That would help. And then how about you don't gag order the whole case for 3 years and then dump thousands and thousands and thousands of documents on people all at the same time and go, here, do the reading and figure it out. Like, okay, we'll do the reading, but don't bitch when we start realizing you told a bullshit story for 3 years.
Well, that's why they're upset with everybody that's caused conspiracy theories. They say we've done that, which no, in my opinion, you've done that because you've never released any truth. So in turn, when people are trying to understand and figure out exactly what it is, and they speculate, people take speculation and that creates rumors, and then kaboom, then you have this mess because you wouldn't tell the truth in the first place. There's the problem, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you think, Logan? Do you have any? What is the out of the last month or so, would you say, what do you think is the most shocking revelation that you've heard that changed from the early story that you think is like, well, shit, like that's not what we heard of? Can you think of anything off the top of the head in the last month that just stands out as 2 or 3 things that just like changed a lot of things for you? Do you have anything you can think of?
Yeah, absolutely. I think having 100% of Kaylee's blood on the pong table and then her blood in the staircase from the first floor to the second floor, when we were told she was upstairs, that's where it happened for her, was in the bed. And now to come out and find out that we have 100% of Kaylee's blood on the pong table changes a lot of the narrative in the story.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also that blood on the door frame too is a key thing. Like, I know we don't know what, it's a theory, but that the high up on the door frame of Maddie's door is not the swipe. It's a swipe from the outside going in, and it's only Kaylee's blood. It's not mixed. So it's very interesting.
About the blood of Kaylee down on the second floor. I try to play devil's advocates. That's what the name of my channel is. And I thought to myself, okay, the only way I can, some of that blood spatter, I don't know if people have in their mind the house layout, but if you come down, if you were coming down at a high rate of speed down the stairs and you took a left going to Xana and Ethan's room and you were dripping in blood, maybe you could fling blood across the stairwell and against the wall of the other side of that stairwell because you're in a hurry. But if that's the case, the whole rest of the crime scene doesn't make sense because there's not blood everywhere. It's like, I'm trying to figure out how Kaylee's blood got on the other side of the stairwell, on that stairwell leading down to the first floor in the first place. Like my mind can't even logic out how her blood got there in the story that they're telling. But
here's how if somebody had that on their hand and they're going down and they just press their hand against that wall and leave a smudge and it's got her blood, but then that means there was more than one perpetrator because there's no mixture.
Right. Yeah,
Right,
no, it's a
remember,
huge thing, and with the mix
yeah.
and with the mixture that you're talking about, which is a huge thing. You got Ethan, Ethan and Xana in one room. There's no Kaylee, and there's no blood from Kaylee, no blood from
Right.
Maddie in that room.
Right.
And look
Right.
at that place was like, UFC craziness that went on.
Yeah.
There. And
No,
you also don't see any of Xana or Ethan's blood upstairs. So to me, at the very least, there's at least 2 perpetrators, maybe more, at least 2.
Sure.
Well, and definitely different weapons. So if you have
right,
different perpetrators. Sorry.
Well, and here's the thing too: is Kaylee never got. Let's say she was hit, right, and then eventually that wound would start bleeding, and she didn't have any blood on her pants, her feet, or anything. So after her first hit that made her bleed, she was never upright again because she never had blood on her pants. So it couldn't be her running or whatever.
Right. That's what they said. They said specifically there was nothing on the lower extremities indicating she was upright. Right. Yeah.
Does anybody? I don't mean to change the subject, but I just noticed something in the chat where somebody stated that Brian might be being transferred to another facility out of state.
We've talked about that
last night. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't. It's not very. Yeah. It's not verified. It's not verified.
I missed one day and I missed everything. See.
So look, real quick, I want to get back to the blood.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw you guys.
No, screw it. You done pissed me off. We're talking about the National Enquirer. So first of all, it's a National Enquirer article that came out that said Kohberger may be, according to inside sources, Kohberger may be moved out of Idaho to another state or another correctional thing for his own safety because he's complained so much. Now he's in danger and they're going to move him to another state. And here's the thing.
You said all I needed to hear. You said
him and Chris. And Chris McDonough, the National Enquirer, and Chris McDonough is saying that it's happening too.
My apologies.
So it ain't.
No, it's all good.
I'm sorry.
Let's talk for a minute again about the blood. This is what kissed me off. This is what pissed me off as well. The unknown male blood spot B on the handrail. Hippler helped determine that blood. And law enforcement, I should say law enforcement, and then Hippler bought it. Law enforcement said, look, we didn't need to enter that blood into CODIS because it was too far away from the crime scene. And yet Kaylee's blood is on the wall, on the banister across the way. Like, how can her blood be all the way over there, again, on the wall going down to the first floor, and yet say that other blood from some unknown male in that same general area is too far away from the crime scene? My ass, it looks to me like the crime scene is all over that area as well. Like, I don't even understand their logic on not entering things into the CODIS database because it was too far. I mean, maybe the glove outside, and I still think, how do you say a bloody glove outside of a quadruple homicide is too far from the crime scene? You know what I'm talking about, Logan? You know what I'm saying?
The problem I have, yeah, absolutely. And the problem I have with that glove outside that was too far from the crime scene, why didn't they test the skin cells inside that glove?
Thank you. Thank you. That's something we talked about years ago, and I still don't understand that.
Well, I understand it only from the thing I say all the time. You don't ask questions you already know the answer to. They already knew what they wanted to say happened in this case, and there wasn't any need to go down wasting time on certain narratives because they knew what they wanted to have. The more I look at this case, the more I feel like they knew what they wanted to spin on this case from the beginning, and they just didn't spend a lot of time going down alternate suspects because they already knew what happened.
Yeah.
But that's my gut. That's my gut.
And the one hidden suspect.
Just real quick from the public information officer for the Idaho Department of Correction, there's a statement saying the Idaho Department of Correction is not aware of the source of this information and is not considering a move for Brian Kohberger. That's from Ryan Mortensen. So they are not going to be moving Brian Kohberger, and that comes directly from them.
That makes sense. I can't imagine they would anyway. It's weird.
Well, again, I said this the other night when you weren't on here, Dago. I'm old. I followed a case back in 2012. James Egan Holmes shot up a theater in Aurora, Colorado. He allegedly had an attempt on his life in the prison system after that, and they moved him to another state and another prison system and wouldn't tell people where they moved him to for his own safety. So it's not it's not outside the realm of possibility for
No, I get it.
a high profile person who's in danger to be moved to another system and have people not told about it, which is just going to create a nightmare in this case because everybody's going to be like, yep, I told you.
I think to Oklahoma. Is that where they moved him to? Allen?
Richard Allen? I don't know. Did they move him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they moved him. I don't know what the reasoning was, but I know they moved him to Oklahoma.
Mortensen. He has the same last name as Dylan.
Who?
Yeah, he does. Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Another same name. Like we need more.
What is with this case and same names? All the Jacks, all of the, oh my God, like this. I can't even remember them all. There's so many names that are like, and people get confused. And like, well, how can you not? And even houses. How about the difference between 1122 and 1112? Like, people are like, wait a minute, I'm confused. I thought the murders happened at 1122. I'm like, it is. Well, why do you keep talking about 1112? I'm like, fuck, forget it. It's fucking Idaho. Like, nothing about this case can make sense.
Or Chapin,
right?
Jonah,
Jonah Chapin,
huge drug dealer at the grub truck. Jonah Chapin has no relation to Ethan Chapin, but has the same last name.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, this case is going to give me a heartburn. So, what is going back to?
What's the most? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Lee. If I did, my apologies.
No, go for it.
I was just gonna ask Logan, like, since the last time you and I have spoken, like, it's been a little while, but like, what's the thing that, besides what Nasty said, that's bothering you the most with the new stuff that's come out, if there is something?
I don't think there's really one thing in particular. It's just that it's very clear to me that what we've been saying this whole time is actually true, and now it's making other people that were guilters for so long backpedal. But it's so clear that there was more than one perpetrator, more than one weapon, and it's just getting clearer and clearer.
I had a question for Logan. I had a quick question. Like, what, with the autopsy stuff that came out, how did you feel about them renumbering the evidence stuff?
I think it's just to try and throw people off. I mean, it just shows that they sucked at everything from the beginning.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well said. They kind of sucked at everything from the beginning.
Yep.
And the question is, here's the question. Did they suck, if they did, because they're a small town and nothing really happens in Moscow and they just weren't prepared for a crime of this magnitude and it's just simple mistakes? Or is it deliberate cover up or deliberate misdirection? Like, that's the question. Is it just incompetence or is it blatant bullshit fuckery, as Joe would say?
I think it's blatant. How many 3-letter agencies did they have there that knew exactly what they're doing?
Yeah,
that are extremely experienced.
Right. They had FBI co-located with them from at least December 5th and probably before that. And so, then how do you blame I mean, you can maybe blame crime scene processing the first day on mistakes of Moscow Police Department. But after that, all fuck ups, how do you do that when you've got the FBI co-located with you every step of the way?
Yep.
Right. I don't know. And what do you think about, I mean, how do I word this? What do you think about, I guess Howard Bloom's trying to say, and I to be fair, I did hear before he came out with this recent article, I did hear him say before that he questions the time frame. But now what I guess where I'm going with this is, from the very beginning, many of us started to do the math and we said, wait a minute. So Brian Kohberger's car, you're saying, was still in motion at 4:07 a.m. because you can see his headlights on the side of a house. So he's still driving. So he's not out of his car at 4:07. He's still there at 4:07. Then you see you hear the dog bark at 4:17, which you say is him leaving the house. So now you've got from 7 to 17, you got like a 10-minute window. You're telling people it's a 20-minute window because you got 4:07 to 4:20 or 13-minute window. But the more you look at it, it can't be, because he was still in motion at 4:07 and he had to leave the house at 4:17. So now you've got like 10 minutes. And all of us were saying, make it make sense that you can kill 4 people on 2 floors when multiple victims have defensive wounds, which means they were fighting back. And you can do that. One person can do that in 8 minutes. And we were act like we're assholes for asking the question. And now Howard Bloom can go, after looking at the crime scene photos, I don't think a person can do that in 8 minutes. Well, no shit. That's what we've fucking been saying for 3 years.
You can look at Jana's bedroom and tell that took time, period. There's no doubt in my mind that took time. And you have two of those, whether it happened with Kaylee upstairs or downstairs, because you guys know what I think about that.
Right.
The wounds that she had, the injuries she had, there was a dance that went on between these people, period. And that does not take 30 seconds to do that when somebody's missing almost all their fingers and things like that. Come on. Like, this is just common sense stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But we'll just say it because we know that they'll believe it and shut up about it eventually. No, we won't. So,
no.
Yeah. And I guess, like I said, the part that bugs me is when he meticulously goes through explaining why he doesn't think the timeline fits. I'm thinking, we've been saying those things from practically day one.
Right.
Why are you, genius, all of a sudden coming up with a list of, well, if you think about this, well, like, are you the first one that thought of that? Like, we've been talking about that for years.
Well, I told you what he said. The thing that pushed him over the edge, he basically, he's going by Ethan, 6'4". He played sports. Sure, he could have been intoxicated and all that stuff, but he doesn't believe that Ethan would have just sat, wouldn't have tried to, fight and help. So he really believes that two people were involved in killing Ethan and Xana at the same kind of at the same time.
Not to change subject, but I did. Yeah. I got to tell you guys this. I've been waiting all day to tell you guys this. Okay, it's kind of important too. I did figure out how, how we've argued about, or not argued, but like wondered how Payne saw the knife sheath from the door, right? And we just figured this out today. My moderators figured this out. They're so awesome. After we saw the photograph of where it was placed, I think we all figured out exactly how he saw it from the door.
Okay.
Because it was eye level for him.
you had me like a fish on a hook. I was like,
you know how hard that was to stay serious through that whole thing. So yeah, I had to make sure you guys knew that. I think that's how we figured it out.
Well, kudos for your team. They were very, very observant. They're very observant.
You know why I love them.
I want to break down to you. I don't remember the official sources, so you guys correct me. You guys have been following this for a long time. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. This was just rumor and not officially stated, or whether it was officially stated. We were told in the early stages of this investigation, and years ago, that all of the victims were sleeping. That was part of the reason why one person could do it. They were all heavily intoxicated and asleep. And then over time, it turned out slowly that we find out they were on their phones. They weren't asleep. There was defensive wounds. They were fighting back. All of those things were untrue. We were told none of them had drugs in their system. And now we're finding out from the latest reports that there was Adderall in their systems, that they had drugs in some of their systems. So that wasn't true. We were told there's no sexual element whatsoever. And now people are saying, well, there might be a sexual element to the crime. We were like every day, it seems like they're backpedaling on everything they told us from the beginning of the case, categorically. Am I wrong that they told us that everybody was asleep at the beginning? Am I wrong that they told us that they were all heavily intoxicated and asleep and didn't, couldn't find?
You're right about everything you just said. 100% on point with that stuff. Yes.
And yet we're assholes because we point out, hey, wait a minute, they were on their cell phones all day, all night long. So remember, the crux of this is that fucking 8-hour delay in the 911 call. Oh, well, they were asleep and they didn't wake up till the next day. Really? Because now we know that's not true.
They were awake
texting
all night.
They were texting all night.
Nobody
texting.
Well, they were in frozen shock phase.
Looking up jobs on Indeed.
Right. I mean, Snapchatting and shit. Like, what is that? I don't understand how people have just bought that. I just
and it was interesting. It was interesting. Megyn Kelly was actually almost like, it's funny because she is part of mainstream media, and she was almost kind of like attacking mainstream media. She was like, shame on them for everyone saying that this was a targeted. Well, I guess she was kind of blaming the police, the investigators, the police, but saying that, pushing the narrative that it was targeted and BK did this by himself, if they had the evidence, knowing that there was another perpetrator out there, people are in danger then, right? So
real quick for this, real quick. Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say for this user, thank you for the donation, by the way, to support the channel. I appreciate that. We talked about this the other night. If this, that's the only part. If this is suspect vehicle 1, that's a 2-door with tinted windows.
It's not BK's car.
It's not BK's car, which is a 4-door.
Right.
Regardless of whether he has clip-on fog lights or not.
Don't do it. Don't do
it. So no, you're not. You're not the only one.
There's a special at Amazon.
Clip on.
You know what he probably had? Wait a minute, I got it. He had those laminated things you can slap on the side of your car to make it look like you have 2 doors instead of 4. So he probably put those on along with the clip-on fog lights,
right,
to disguise his vehicle. That's totally it. He got some laminate things and made his 4-door look like a 2-door for that picture with the clip-on fog lights, so that we would all be because he's fucking brilliant. Couldn't leave his cell phone behind at the crime scene, but he's fucking brilliant. Like, so why wouldn't he have done that?
You know that there was a statement made quite a while back, but it was brought up again today in my chat again with this 2-door tinted window car. That's definitely not Brian's. That it was stated that there was somebody that definitely saw 2 people in this car. That car, okay. So my question is why have we never heard about anybody being seen in any car, whether it's 1 person, 2 people, 5 people, 4 people? Okay. 1 car has tinted windows, 1 car doesn't. There's 21,000 more of these, by the way. But that, in my opinion, because you just showed a photograph of it. They showed it to us once before. That's the car, and whoever's in that car is who needs to be talked to. If that car was caught on camera anywhere, okay, that's who they need to be looking at and who they need to be talking to. So that's never been brought up.
Real quick, I want to address a user's question. If Jack D is Kaylee's ex-boyfriend, may I ask who Jack Showalter is? Well, yes. First of all, you're not wrong to be confused with all the different names of people that all match up. That's why we're joking about how many Jacks there are. Jack Showalter is, to put it, this is a very, 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 very big summary. Jack Showalter is the one who followed Maddie and Kaylee out of the corner club. He was a friend of Maddie's, said he'd never known Kaylee, but spent all night talking to her that night, and may or may not have known Jack DeCour and followed the girls home to keep them protected and said they're going to get you for that and all kinds of weird, creepy shit. And Maddie told him to fuck off. That's Jack Showalter, a suspect, by the way, that allegedly had blood all over his apartment or didn't, depending on which crime scene report you read. Anyways, so Jack Showalter is let's say a person of interest that is not the same as Jack DeCour. So there you go. Question
for Logan. Yeah.
What is the theory on the crime scene photos? Yeah, what is your theory on the crimes? Is there a theory for the crime scene photos? But what do you think about the crime scene photos?
I don't necessarily know if I'm at the point that I can come up with a full theory on what happened in the whole entire crime scene, but I do think at one point Kaylee did run down the stairs, but she was caught right there by the pong table and something happened to her there. I don't know if she was trying to run out the front door or what, but I do think that that's where she was met, was on the 2nd floor by that pong table. Now, whether it was by somebody chasing her or a perpetrator already on the 2nd floor, I'm not sure which one I'm at yet, but I do think that she did run down those stairs. When she saw what was happening to Maddie upstairs, she turned around and ran down those stairs and then was caught on the 2nd floor.
I agree.
I got a question for you, Logan. You've looked through all the crime scene photos, right? The 2,700 something. So I want to ask you your take on this. Did you feel like I felt that there was a crap ton of photos of Kaylee Gonzalez's bedroom? Like an absurd amount extra, it seemed like, than any other place, even though no crime actually took place in that? That's my question number one. Did you feel there was a lot of photos of Kaylee's bedroom? And number two, have you heard about and have any feelings about some of the rumors that came through, even said on a Dateline episode one time, that maybe the killer was inside the house already and in Kaylee's closet waiting for her in the house? Do you have any thoughts about that whole was an intruder already in the house? Were they in Kaylee's bedroom? Did they spend extra time on Kaylee's bedroom? Or is that all like, never mind?
So yeah, I did notice that there's a lot more photos of Kaylee's room than any of the other rooms that also didn't have anything in it or didn't have a victim in there or anything. So there's a lot more of Kaylee's room than there is of Dylan's room, Bethany's room. Why? You would think it would be the opposite way. And also, I did think, and I think pretty much up until this point, I think that there were perpetrators that were already in the house hiding. I don't necessarily know if it was in Kaylee's room, but I do think that they were in there before.
What about the fact that the photos indicate and people talk about Kaylee's bed was turned down as if she was going to be sleeping in her bed that night, yet she was found in bed with Maddie. Was she sleeping the night with Maddie in the bedroom, or was she going to be in her own room and Murphy was in her room and Kaylee was going to be in her own room, but somebody moved her to Maddie's room? Or was she going to sleep in her own room, but they just kind of ended up sleep partying together for a while in Maddie's room, listening to music together? Like, what is your theory on whether or not Kaylee was actually going to be sleeping in her room, why the bed was turned down, and why she's in Maddie's room?
So Dylan said that when she was upstairs talking with the girls, she said that Kaylee was getting ready for bed. So in my opinion, Kaylee was going to go to bed in her own bed, but for some reason, I think somebody put her in Maddie's room, basically. I think she was going to go to sleep in her own bed.
Have I told you guys what my thought on that was?
Maybe not. Go ahead and tell us. I mean, even if we've heard it before, tell us.
I go along with, I think I've said from the beginning, at some point after seeing that photograph of her bed being kind of turned down, that maybe initially she did go upstairs and she was going to go into her own bed and the door was shut. She's just sitting in there on her phone or something, maybe even laying there partially, but either she heard a noise in Maddie's room or Murphy, you know how dogs are, ran to the door, sniffing, scratching, whining because he heard something. So she goes to check it out, opens the door, and because their room was literally like 3 feet apart, maybe walked in to go see what the hell was going on in there and caught this person and seen him and bolted, screaming, run. If that's true, somebody's in the house and was chased or caught downstairs by the second perpetrator that's downstairs, maybe. Like, and because I agree with Logan 100% that Kaylee was grabbed or attacked possibly right there by that pong table. And that's where that started for her. So that's exactly what I thought happened possibly.
Or, I mean, you've also pointed out there's a lot of amino black by the sliding glass door. I mean, an attack could have happened at the sliding glass door and then moved into the pong table. Right?
There's a huge pooling at the bottom of the stairs as well.
Yeah.
So somebody wants me to ask
from the handrail too. Yeah.
So somebody wants me to ask Logan about whether she has knowledge and thoughts about the idea that one of the victims was a CI working perhaps with Moscow Police Department. And are you aware of the body cam footage that we talked about the other night? I don't know if you've seen it, where one of the officers says, I don't know if you know this, but one of the victims was a CI. And were you also aware, I'll let you talk in a minute, of the document that we've talked about, Atlanta from Truth and Transparency talked about? There was an agreement between the University of Idaho and Moscow Police Department to embed police officers in the fraternity, the Greek fraternities and sorority system, where officers would be embedded with essentially confidential informants in each one of the houses to kind of look for things like drugs and whatever. Are you aware of all that? And what are your thoughts about the idea that one of the kids might have been a CI, and did that lead to the motive of murder?
Yeah, so I did hear that. I do think it's possible. I had a lot of people come to me and say, that's not what I hear that officer saying. I didn't hear him say CI. So I listened to it every which way I could over and over and over and over. And that is what I hear.
Yeah.
So I do think it's possible. And that takes us back to the timing advance records, where law enforcement only got Xana's and Maddie's timing advance records. So they obviously thought those were the two targets.
Right.
Which is interesting because who's excluded from the WSU lawsuit? Xana's mom and Maddie's dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And we have to ask ourselves why.
No, it's a great observation. And sorry, I'm chewing on ice. That's horrible. But I want to talk. One also brought out, it wasn't just Maddie and Xana's timing advance records, but they had redacted in one of the documents, and then he found the document unredacted where it said, and one early suspect that they were looking at timing advance records. And it wasn't, I don't think, Brian Koberger. It was a BK, but it wasn't Brian Koberger. And they literally said they were looking at Xana and Maddie's and one early suspect by the initials BK.
BK.
And I don't think that the name is long enough to be Koberger. I think it's a Brent Kopacka, more than likely, whose name was associated with the case early on.
It was an early, it was an early tip, and it was about saying that he had his apartment repainted or whatever. That doesn't fit BK at all.
And let me add the last part of that. Steve Gonzalez just recently, very, very recently said, after the release of the crime scene photos, and they asked how he felt and whether anything has changed now that he's seen the photos, he said something to the effect of, well, I think that based on timing advance records, somebody else, and I think that means other than Kaylee, was the target of the house, and Maddie might have been one of them. And I thought to myself, how the hell do timing advance records tell you who the target of the house was? But like you said, the timing advance records of Brian Koberger wouldn't tell you dick, but the timing advance records of Maddie and Kaylee and potentially another suspect might tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think that it's possible. I don't know if I would necessarily take the timing advance records and use it to say, oh, this was the target. I don't think it gives us that much information. I just think the information on that and plugging it into other things that we know make it it's not, nothing in this case is a coincidence.
Right.
So then it makes it add up kind of as to possibly being related to confidential informants.
And it baffles my mind, because if it turns out that somebody else was the target and there was a target, then how do you go with the random incel who can't get laid and decided he had to go wipe out half of a house? Like that would make no sense. Like again, they've worked really, really hard to convince everybody in America that Maddie was the target solely on the fact that she worked at a Greek restaurant and maybe Koberger liked vegan food, and that somehow is the tie-in. That's how he must have known somebody in the house. Yet, despite the fact that Bill Thompson literally has said over and over again, there's nothing that ties Brian Koberger to the house or anybody in the house at all. But they kept repeating the narrative over and over again.
The two lead detectives said they wish they could have found something to connect him, and there's nothing. So
they literally said, we really worked hard to find some connection, and we wished we could have found one, but we never found a connection between Koberger and the house.
No.
And he had no he doesn't seem to have any history of being incel activity either. So like just today, just today, one of his, I guess, former friends, I don't know how much you could believe everything he said. This guy Mike,
I do know that was true. He was friends with him.
So he actually hasn't seen him in a long time, right? But he did do drugs with him. He used to have house parties and all kinds of stuff. And from what I saw, he wasn't explaining someone who's an incel. It's that Brian he was trying to get a girlfriend. He was going to parties. He was drinking. It doesn't. That's not
an incel. Doesn't go down between two women at a pool party trying to hit on them both. That's not an incel by any means. Okay, I'm just
not only hitting on girls, but getting their phone numbers. And that's one of the things that I said. Look, there was a girl that was interviewed that she met him. They talked about hiking. She gave him her number, and she literally said, I don't know why I didn't text him back. I'm glad I didn't. So it wasn't he was really creepy and I was afraid of this guy and I just gave him his number my number to make him go away, but I never intended. It wasn't any of that. She literally said, I don't know why I didn't text him back. He got girls' numbers. There was a guy at the party who said, this dude's a player. I'm trying to get this girl's number, and he went and got her number first because he's a fucking player. And yet he's this creep that can't get women. Like
he also turned down the Asian girl. She wanted to hook up with him like permanently. Like, I'm not interested. An incel doesn't do that.
But
she spent the night at his house. She slept at his house.
That's the one that worked with him or something.
Yeah.
But that's a weird story though, right? Because he apparently, I don't know, just what he said that he installed cameras or something.
Security system. Two different.
Which is the one but there was a key, right? There was like a key missing.
Yes, that was the same girl. Yeah,
that's the same girl. Okay.
Yeah, the key went missing to her apartment, and then it showed up at her office. But again, that's the same woman who, when she was afraid of staying at her place, supposedly stayed at Brian Koberger's apartment with him because she was afraid of being at her house. So you simultaneously want to say she was terrified of the guy while going to his house to sleep for the night because.
I almost feel like her statement came out because maybe she was angry with him for turning her down, possibly. I mean, I could see that happening. It's the same way I think that most of the statements that came from WSU came out after the fact when he was accused of this, because nothing that I can find that was ever reported. There may be a couple things, but the majority of it didn't seem to be reported until Brian was somebody of importance to this case, in my opinion. So
yeah,
I'm just saying.
All right, look, here's what I want to do, because we don't get to have Logan on all the time. I want to do two things. One, I want to encourage our chat to ask questions of her while she's here so that you have the opportunity to hear her perspective, because you hear us rant. A lot of us are saying the same shit we've been saying every single night because it still pisses us off, but you've heard us rant about it before. So maybe you can ask a question of her and hear her rant about something that you haven't heard her rant about. Or, Logan, I invite you to ask us any questions that you want to know about what we think about something, if there's something on your mind. But either way, I want to give you some time to get some spotlight on you, because we do this all the time, every single night, but you're not with us every single night. So do you have any questions for us while I wait for the chat to kind of ask you some questions?
Sure. I mean, I have a million questions, which shouldn't even be the case to begin with. But do you guys remember back when the Dateline episode came out and the interviewer, who was it, Keith Morrison, was asking questions to an FBI agent? I'm pretty sure he was from the FBI. And he said to the FBI agent, and when that car sped out of there, came out of there at a high rate of speed, he almost hit somebody.
Right.
That's how fast he was going. Wait, so you have a witness? And that person could have told you, like, who was in the car, how many people were in the car, what kind of car. And that person has never come forward. We've never heard a statement, no tips from, nothing like that. What do you guys think of that?
I equate that same story to Brian Koberger returned to the scene of the crime the next morning to drive by to see how things going. And yet when I pointed out, if that was the case, where's the fucking video that shows him and his face? Because if you see his car driving by any camera in the daylight, we're going to see him. And that's it. It never happened. And the prosecution finally said it never happened. Brian Koberger did not return to the scene of the crime, as everybody's been saying in America. It's the same thing on that story. This story about he almost ran somebody over on the way out of there was just something that it sounded really cool, got attention, and they repeated it over and over again. And I don't know. Have you ever seen any video of the car? I've watched the video of the car speeding away at 4:20 in the morning. I didn't see him almost hit somebody. Did you see him almost hit somebody?
No. That's why I'm confused.
He almost lost control of the car. It looked fine to me.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about how there are no footprints of perpetrators in the blood in Xana's room or coming out of the room?
Yeah, we spoke about this yesterday. It's huge. That's a huge thing. Either you would think footprints, or even if you would think like, oh, this guy's, he's so smart, he's gonna put on like a booty or something, right? There's nothing.
Well, and so to answer the question.
Yeah, how did Hunter supposedly check for a pulse on Xana and not be walking around in a bunch of blood?
Right. And this they wiped him up thing was my answer to that, which is we should see, like you say, there's no way you shouldn't see footprints. First of all, Xana herself was upright during a lot of that attack. You should see her footprints. Right. You should see the perpetrator's footprints. Even if they were wearing booties, you should have seen footprints. But look, the defense said multiple times there was evidence of a cleanup. The defense had a witness said there was evidence of a cleanup. Hours went by before they called 911, and there was evidence of a cleanup. Dylan, in my opinion, even kind of said that sketchy thing, which is, well, I don't think you're going to find any DNA of the killer because we cleaned up. And the cops are like, you know what?
Last weekend,
a
week ago.
Well, you did a great job, Dylan, on the banister.
So, I mean, I think the answer to why there aren't I think the answer to why there aren't footprints is somebody went there and smeared away footprints or did some kind of cleanup a little bit somehow, because I don't even understand how you don't have footprints. Like without a cleanup, I don't understand even the most careful person. And look, the crime scene shows that wasn't careful. That was a bloodbath attack, right? So it wasn't careful. So how did you not leave one single, and we can argue there is one single latent footprint right outside of Dylan's door. But other than that, where's all the rest of the latent footprints? There's nothing.
Nope, nothing.
Do you have an answer for it, Logan? I mean,
I don't have an answer. My theory now is that the people who did it must have floated, because how do you not have footprints anywhere? It's just not possible. And they wouldn't have been able to clean up just their footprints in Xana's room, right? I mean, you've got smears and stuff everywhere. So that's not possible. The only, I don't know. I could see in the hallway, maybe their transfer tracks being cleaned up, but how would you clean up your own foot, if you're the perpetrator, your own footprints within the blood on Xana's floor? You can't. That'd be impossible.
Here's one of my other questions. How does Murphy not have his footprints all over the blood in that house? Like, was it proven that the door was closed and Murphy was shutting the door, or did he have it? Because that's the $1 million question too. How did Murphy not have a spot of blood anywhere on him and didn't walk through any of the crime scenes?
Well, he did leave bloody footprints. We see one at least in Maddie's room that I know of.
They're very faint. They're at the end of the bed. Yeah.
There's like two you can see. And I was zooming in on the bed after they pulled off the comforter. It almost looked like there might have been one on the bed, but I can't get a clear enough view of it to really tell what it is. But on the floor, for sure, there's some.
That would make sense too.
Yeah. So then I'm curious about this, because didn't Murphy go immediately? Like, Murphy didn't get scrubbed down for DNA, did he? Did they do any testing of his bloody paws? Did he go straight to like a kennel and Jack the Core picked him up later from the kennel company?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. How is the dog not part of the crime
somebody
scene?
took him.
Because
somebody took him to a groomer and got him all cleaned up before he went anywhere else. So somebody had him, and they had to get him cleaned up because they knew that. Yeah,
I think that whoever was involved in the cleanup may have possibly cleaned him up as well a bit. At least his paws. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's just my opinion. I'm just a thought.
Yeah, something had to have happened, because we definitely see two footprints very clearly of Murphy's, and one is very clear it has blood. So that it's a
So let me
bloody
ask you this. I'm not a forensic specialist. I'm not law enforcement. But you tell me how Murphy is not part of evidence. Like, why don't you collect Murphy and like check his hair to see if maybe he's got a tangled human hair in his hair from the perpetrator or something like that? Why wouldn't you go over that dog with a fine tooth comb to see whose DNA he's got on him? How do they just go, fuck it, let the dog go, he's not part of this scene, and yet walking through the scene? Like, I fundamentally cannot, other than the answer is you don't ask questions you already know the answer to. You don't need to ask about Murphy because you know what happened. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that's exactly what it is.
There was a photograph put out a while back, quite a while ago. I'm trying to remember who put it out. Anyway, and it showed somebody carrying Murphy.
Yep.
And it was not a police officer. It was somebody else, if I remember correctly. God, who put that out? Was it? I can't remember. Anyway,
are you talking from the early morning of the murders, or from like days after?
I think it was in the morning. Yeah,
like 6 o'clock. Like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's a 6:30 when the girl gets out of her SUV returning from work.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, I don't know if it was it Tommy that put that out a long time a while back?
Tommy did, yeah. Okay,
so I remember seeing that photo sent to me. Somebody sent an email, or was it Rolo? One of the two. Either way. So you got to wonder who that person was, what they were doing, and if that had anything to do maybe with what Robin said.
Yep.
Well, a lot of people feel that Murphy. So if you believe in the wildest ass conspiracy theories, Murphy was taken out of the house during the murders, and Murphy was brought back to the house after the murders to make it look like he was always there the whole time. And so that could be, in the craziest of theories, somebody at 6 something in the morning returning Murphy to the house before they call 911 and say that, hey, there's been something horrific that happened because Murphy was taken out of the house that night.
You should see paw prints everywhere.
I see. And I hate it, but I see in that 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning video that Jules obtained, a car coming into the neighborhood at a high rate of speed and open the door and you hear somebody call something and then the door shuts and the car leaves and you go along to what the girl said. They lost Murphy that night. He got out. They didn't know where he was at. They were trying to find Murphy. Did Murphy run around the neighborhood until somebody picked him up and took him away from the neighborhood? And did they return that dog hours later after the murders? And
you hear someone calling for Murphy. You hear someone calling for Murphy in that video.
Well, that would make sense to go with his footprints as well, because if they took him back hours later to the crime scene, then the blood in Kaylee and Maddie's room would have been drier, and so he wouldn't be able to transfer as much because it would be more dry by that time.
Right.
Yeah.
Or is it like you said, DA? He's a magical teleporting dog.
That dog.
That
dog. Wait a minute. You know what we should do? Shit. Do we have Murphy the teleporting dog video? We haven't even played that for a long time.
Somewhere.
It's a lot less offensive than the video that we sometimes play, which we haven't played for forever. I was going to do that. Have you seen our videos, Logan, our parody videos?
I think I've seen one. It's been a minute though.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find the Murphy video. Hold on a second. But go ahead and keep talking. I'm going to see if I can find the, because the Murphy one's not so horrible. Yeah.
I had a question for Logan. What's your opinion of Kaylee and Maddie's phone both going dark at like 250? I always mix it. It's either 254 or 256, one of those times. So right after there's a whole bunch of texts and calls and whatever to Jack D. I know there's like a 17-minute call that he claimed he doesn't know anything about, but the reason I asked that because you watch, you just think of like how people are and how a lot of us are, but how these kids at college, and you look at the Corner Club. I don't know if you saw the whole Corner Club video, and you see Kaylee's she's glued to her phone. So it's just, to me, I feel that whatever happened with Kaylee and Maddie started right at that 256. Not that maybe they weren't killed, but that's when it started.
I agree with that, because even us, just as a regular person laying in bed at night, we all kind of flip through our phones for a while and use our phones. So it's hard for me to think that she's going to send a text and then just go straight to sleep in Maddie's bed. That doesn't make sense to me. Right. So I think that either all of their phones were taken, so they couldn't use them to call 911 or whatever. And then after the crime, put the phones back, which could also explain why Ethan's phone was next to Xana and Xana's phone was next to Ethan.
Right.
So I think that something must have started to happen at that time for both of their phones to go dark at the same time.
Yeah.
That's the only logical Occam's razor explanation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind, I had a question for you, Logan. Real quick. Did you watch the Adam Lauda interview?
Yes.
Or listen to it because it's audio, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So one quick question. Listening to that and knowing what we've all seen and read and heard about Jack DeCour and the reaction, I guess, he had to him and Kaylee breaking up, his mental health and stuff like that. They ask Adam one question. And he makes a statement in return as an answer and says that he never heard Jack say anything ill of Kaylee ever, the way he explains it. Do you believe that?
I don't think, just human nature, I don't believe that, especially when you go through a breakup. One day you're going to be pissed at the person. The next day you're going to be sad. I don't believe that he never once said anything bad about Kaylee.
Thank you. That's and I wanted this from.
And we know he did that. I think we know he did. We've seen social media posts. Unless they were faked social media posts that were not flattering of Kaylee. But
so the reason why I asked you that, and that's absolutely true. The reason I asked you that is because to answer that question that way seems like a little overzealous and a little bit much. So it's almost like he's overdoing it on purpose to cover up something else, possibly, in my opinion. So that's why I was asking your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
By the way, Robin, I have no idea where we lost Murphy's video, but we had a video from that Murphy song that was put to pictures, and I can't find it anywhere on any of our drives, which kind of disturbs me, unless I didn't name the file with Murphy in the title. We lost it. Oh my gosh, I'm so frustrated because it's fun.
That is a good point, too. He did say that he didn't care for Maddie at all. That's another good point. I forgot about
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, we should have it. So.
And as far as Jack goes, that was... It's always been weird to me. Like, look, maybe Jack really is a super nice guy because everybody and their dog tells us Jack's a super nice guy and would never hurt a fly. And he's the nicest, sweetest person. Everybody needs to leave Jack alone. He's whatever. And he was totally cool and totally fine with the fact that look, they literally said, Kaylee and him were expected to get married and have kids. She was the love of his life. And yet she was leaving with his dog for a job in Texas. Broke up with him weeks before the murder, and people said he was distraught and that he was having problems dealing with it. But most people now are saying, "Oh no, he was totally cool with her dating other people. He hung out with all the time. He was cool." I don't know what to believe. But it seems like he's got the best PR campaign I've ever seen because most of the story is, yeah, he's totally cool with the love of his life, leaving him, taking his dog, moving across the country, seeing other men. No problem. He was cool with that. And I don't buy that shit for a minute.
Don't forget, a true narcissist can put on a really good show.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what to think about this whole thing. Is there more questions, by the way, for anybody that we before? I mean, I don't want to. Are you guys looking for that Murphy video, by the way? Just by chance?
I'm trying to find.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I wish Cat Farm was here. She was the one that made this song, but I had it set to mute. I had it set to a video. How the hell did I lose that shit? Why do I suck?
Same reason why I can't find any of my stuff. You have too much going on.
Yeah.
Well, there's just so much in this case. It's hard to keep track where every little detail is located.
Yes.
Right. My hard drive is full, both mentally and on my computer. So what else do you focus on, Logan, on your channel? Like, what is your big, let me ask you this. What is your passion that drives you to follow Idaho 4? You said it's like the only case you're really doing right now. What got you started in it, and why are you passionate about it, and why do you keep doing it?
Well, I got started just probably the same as everybody else, hearing it on the news, 4 college students killed, while they're sleeping in their bed. And then you follow it for a while because you get hyped up like, oh, I want to dig and see if I can match, this person to this person and that person and see if I can figure out, who did it. And I feel like everybody gets that way at first. But then as soon as they arrested Brian Koberger, I was like, wait, only one person? So then I was like, wait a second, this doesn't make sense. And then, by the looks of him, and then you start learning about him, it's like, wait, this really doesn't fit at all. I was expecting more than one person to be arrested for it.
Yeah. Me too. And I'm still thinking we don't know the story, and I still don't buy that one person did it, and I still don't buy it happened in the time frame that they did. So I'm still there. And I guess for a lot of people, when we talk about, we're trying to be a true crime channel and cover other cases, but people say, well, no other case has mystery like this one. Like, this one has a mystery because nobody can seem to figure out. Well, again, the guilters say it's over because we do know who the killer is. He fucking admitted to it. Like, how can you say you don't know who the killer is? He literally said, yeah, I did it, and I did it by himself. And all I can say to that is, he literally admitted to something that's impossible to have happened. Like, one person couldn't have done what they say he did. So, okay, you accept that he admitted to doing the impossible is what you're basically saying. Because I don't think it's possible to have done it. But that's me.
All the people that are pretty much guilters that come to my chat or whatever, they ask the same question. It's, then why did he plead guilty? Why do you guys think he pled guilty?
I think he pleaded. I personally have 2 opinions about why he pled guilty. One, his mother begged him so that she could have a son because they were going to execute him. And there could be and I think that he knew he was getting an unfair trial. He knew his parents knew he was getting an unfair trial. And they said, look, they're going to kill you. If you accept this, at least I'll have a son and I'll get to visit you and I'll get to talk to you. But if you don't plea, you're gonna be killed by the state. So either it was to save his parents, they begged him to do it, or to save his own ass, but I don't think it's even to save his own ass. I think if it was up to Kohberger, he would have fought it all the way. I think his mom might have got to him as saying, don't do it kind of thing. The other option is Brian Kohberger is playing the long game, and he knows that he has post-conviction relief options that are still available, not the appeal, but post-conviction relief options. And maybe, again, the last thing I'll say about that is an appeal, even when you waive your right to appeal, is off the table if you physically could not have done it. So if something comes forward and it proves Brian Kohberger could not have done it, then his plea deal is off the table, regardless of the fact that the appeal window is over. He'll walk, because you can't if it's impossible for him to have done it, you can't plead guilty to something that was impossible to do, and that will be a get out of jail free card. So I don't know. Maybe he's playing the long game. Maybe he was begged to take the plea deal. That's my two guess. Or he's just afraid of being killed in prison. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have theories on why he took the plea deal other than he actually did it? Or is that your theory that maybe he just on the face value, I have to accept, maybe he accepted the plea deal because he fucking did it. Maybe we just have to take him at his word for it. He said he did. So maybe that is the answer. But what do you think?
Yeah, I've thought of that, obviously. I'm not sitting here saying that it's completely impossible, no chance ever that Brian Kohberger did this, right? Of course, it's possible, I suppose. I don't necessarily believe that, but I think the reason he took the plea deal is everything that you said, along with, listen, Ann Taylor did not have all the things that we have now. She did not have all the information that we have, that we're sitting with right now. So it was almost nearly impossible for her to defend her client. And I think he got to the point too, where along with everything you said about his mom and all of that, it's a lot easier to fight a life sentence from your jail cell, but it's harder to fight a death penalty sentence from your jail cell. So I think the fact that Ann Taylor didn't even have all of the information to defend her client, he's kind of like, dang, I'm going to go to court to fight the death penalty with a public defender that doesn't even have all the information she needs to defend me. That's not a good choice to make. You would want to make the choice of life if you can.
You bring up a good point, because what I don't know is what Ann Taylor did and didn't have. And so that's the $1 million question. Did Ann Taylor, for example, did she have the audio that Jules got with the screaming at 2:30 to 3:30 in the morning, which would lead, in my opinion, any juror to question the timeline? Because you hear what sounds consistent to something horrible happening between 2 and 3, and conversely, you hear nothing like that between the window they say it happened in. And any juror, in my opinion, would have reasonable doubt as to when that actually happened. And then you've got a couple of witnesses who seem to be lying about what they were doing that night, whether they were sleeping or not, who seem to be saying, hey, instead of just walking next to the next room where I see my friend laying on the floor, I'm just going to text her instead because I think she's, come on, no jury would have bought that shit if it had gone to trial. So the question is, did Ann Taylor have that audio, or was that brand new? And if she knew that, she would have said, hey, wait a minute. There's a part of me that thinks there's no way Ann Taylor didn't have that audio. And so therefore the only answer has to be she had the audio and she knows it's a no, never mind, because she's already vetted it. Because how could she have that and not have said, I'm going to trial on that shit? There's no way a jury is going to convict if they know that that's what's out there between 2:30 and 3:30 in the morning. I don't know. How much does she know? I don't know what she knew and what she didn't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what she knew and didn't know, and what she had and didn't have. But I know that she was asking for, specific pieces of evidence. And she herself said, when I got this specific piece of evidence, it came with no audio. So then I asked for this, and it was like this long drawn out game they were playing as far as handing over the evidence that they had.
Yes.
And it was taking too much time for her to then dig into it to even fight it, to use that piece of evidence to fight it in court.
I think you're onto something, because Jules ran into the same problem when she was trying to they would give her a video without audio. And she's like, I know there's audio on this file. So she has to fight. And if they did the same shit with Ann Taylor, like you said, what happened was the appeal window option was running out. They were running out of time. And she literally couldn't get them to give all the discovery. She said it all the way to the end. I still haven't seen all the discovery in this case. I still am not prepared for trial. And yet days after, in my opinion, I think it was days after telling Hippler, we're not ready. We haven't seen all the evidence. She went in with Kohberger and said to the question, have you had plenty of time to review all the evidence? And she said, and I think with a roll of her eyes, Yes, Your Honor, I had time to look at it. She didn't. She just days ago had said she still hadn't had time to see it all. But Koberger's plea wouldn't happen if she didn't agree. She had plenty of time to look it over. So she had to lie essentially in court and say, I've had time to look at it, because it's the only way the plea deal would stick, is for them to say, yep, we had time to mount the defense and we give up. And it's horseshit, I think. But
yep, I agree.
Nuts. So Lee, we found it. We got the Murphy video.
You found it for sure?
No, Amanda. Yeah, we have it. Cat Farm messaged us. So she has it on her YouTube. I put the link in the private chat. If you look.
So it's we have to play it from YouTube. Watch us get copyright violation for playing our own video on YouTube.
Or she also sent me the separate.
All right. Yeah, if you had a separate file, that would be the ideal way.
I have a separate file too. Let me see.
Can you load it to the assets?
Yeah, I got
that's what I was after, was the file.
Yeah.
I mean, all of this just because you know what? Because we haven't done one of our videos for a while.
Yeah,
kind of funny. And I did go on I don't know if Logan's ever seen me do that, but I did a video one time calling Murphy a magical teleporting dog, and I went on a rant. I just my head exploded. I'm like, that fucking dog. That dog is, sometimes he's outside the house, sometimes he's inside the house, sometimes people see him, sometimes they don't see him. He's in the room or he's not in the room. Like, fucking, where's that fucking dog? Like, he's like the answer to the whole case. So I ranted like that for quite a while, and then we spliced it together and made a song to it, and it's hilarious, I think. But so I just wanted to kind of lighten some levity here and. Or add some levity, lighten the mood. I just lightened some levity. That doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. But anyways, yeah, if you can pull it up, we'll do it.
Yeah,
I've got the other video pulled up, but that one offends people. Have you seen my pretty much video that I play on the about Dylan?
Oh, I've seen that one for sure. That is hilarious.
It is pretty funny, but we haven't played it for this big of an audience. I feel like we might have to take the risk on playing pretty much. I don't know.
Oh, I think you should play it.
I think we should.
I have it.
It's a classic.
I pretty much is already loaded up. I got it backstage right now. It's already ready to go. Look, okay. Can you hang out with us enough to play these songs real quick?
Who, me? I have all night.
All right. Look.
Yeah. Robin, I sent it.
You're the only one that ever wants to leave, Lee.
I know. All right. Look, we're gonna play two songs that really I haven't really been busted in the balls for it. I haven't, but I feel like the people are gonna bust me in the balls for it because it's kind of making light of Dylan Morton's very constantly changing story in the Idaho 4. She starts out talking about how it pretty much happened at 4 a.m., but then she gives conflicting stories and it doesn't change, and it changes all the time. She talks about hearing Kaylee, for example, dancing and singing, and hears somebody whisper, "Hey, I'm here to help you," but she doesn't hear Xana screaming right next door. Like everything about her story does not make sense. And so you have to understand this video and this song is not created to victim shame anyone. It's because this whole thing is kind of almost a joke at the level of believability when you think about it. What were you going to say?
Lee, before you play, I put it in the live asset folder. It says Murphy. It's in the drive. It's in the OneDrive. It says Murphy.mp3. I just put it in there.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Because I just did the whole lead in on Dylan, we'll do the Dylan song first, and then we'll play Murphy if you guys want to see that one too. All right. Okay, go ahead. I'm going to leave everybody's mic on, so if you want to laugh or say something about the song, you can. But for those who are easily offended, you probably should find some other shit to do tonight, because this will be offensive, I'm sure, to somebody. All right. It's such a pretty song, really.
Is it real or just a dream? Can I tell you what I've seen? Pretty much at 4 a.m. a man appeared in front of me. I don't recall a single thing. I'm so lost inside my mind. No one answers when I ring. Was it real or just a can I tell you what happened? Pretty much at 4 a.m. something happened. I don't know what happened. Pretty much everyone is super nice.
I love that's my favorite line.
My friends
Everyone's
were
super.
home, but I'm not sure. I went straight past and left her there. When I saw her lying on the floor, I ran away, but I wasn't scared. I don't recall a single thing. I'm so lost inside my mind. No one answers when I ring. Was it real or just a lie? Can I tell you what happened? Pretty
You got it.
Get down with your bad self, 1-1.
pretty much. I don't know what happened. Pretty much. Everyone is super nice. No one's answering. I'm really confused. I'm not remembering. Please, may I be excused? It wasn't like anything was wrong. I don't know if this is real or not. She danced with the dog and sang a song. What happened? I don't know. I forgot. I don't recall a single thing. I'm so lost inside my mind. No one answers when I ring. Was it real or just a lie? Can I tell you what happened? Pretty much at 4 a.m. something happened. Pretty much. I don't know what happened. Pretty much. Everyone is super nice. I don't remember at all.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to hell for that one.
That's the greatest.
And if
song
you're
ever
going, we're all
created.
going. I wrote 2 of them like that, Lee.
Oh yeah, Cat Farm I think Cat Farm was the one that did the AI composure on that one, and then we threw it to just put it on a picture.
She's got a Hitler one too, right?
Yeah, we
She
have,
said she
yeah.
has-
Yeah.
The
Yep.
Murphy one, by the way, you put up is just audio only, right? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not the video.
Yeah. Well, the other one, it goes to the YouTube. So
Oh, so the link does show it from the YouTube. I need
the link should show it. The audio Cat Farm just sent me directly. So
all right. But anyways, yeah, it's that song always makes me nervous because it's hysterical in its absurdity, and that's the problem.
oh, I know. Remember, you got
Yeah,
we got attacked by Viviana, right? She like
Right.
massacred you.
Oh yeah,
Attack
I mean, it was-
everybody. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
Oh, I blocked her a long time ago.
Yeah.
she is kind of nasty with her attacks, man.
She's
It's,
vile.
Kinda.
Well, the way she gets her views is by trying to get us creators riled up, and then we'll
Right.
mention her name because now we're
Yep.
pissed off, and that's how she gets. I'm like, girl,
and
you're not
I've
making
fallen
content
for it.
off
I
on
called her
me.
out a couple times. Yeah.
That's the only way she gets abused, Logan. Period.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, hold on a second. Let me try to play one more song, and then we'll kind of say some good nights after we take some last minute questions. But I thought it was kind of cool to play some cool, different stuff. Let's remove this, add this to stage. So this is not what I expected, but I think it does have the actual pictures that roll in here. So once it gets rolling, I kind of fast forwarded a little bit, and it looks like it's there. So this was another song going along with my Murphy rant. Shit, Murphy rant though isn't in here. I did a video where I talked about I played a clip of my rant before I did this. So unfortunately, you don't get to see my rant ahead of time, which kind of leads to some of the stuff that's the inside joke of the song. But we'll play it anyways. All right, you guys ready? I'm gonna pull the sound up and.
Oh my god.
Walking all night, nobody hears. So far in the distance, then gradually nears. A fleeting encounter, then disappears. How did he leave? Did he fly with his ears? Golden demigod. Not a mark on him, not a hair left behind. He's better behaved than all humankind. He'll clean up his paw prints with some bacon rind before you know it's gone. It's so streamlined. He's a magical teleporting dog. It's Wednesday. He's a cute and curly golden demigod. Traveling the universe through space.
Oh my God.
How do you do it? You're cute. Are you here?
Are you there?
Are you anywhere or everywhere?
He's got different pictures than I had. I had a picture of Murphy hanging out the side window of an Elantra.
He's a magical teleporting dog. It's Murphy. He's a cute and curly golden demigod. You're such a good dog.
It's too bad we don't get to see your dog, Logan. You have Bronx, right? You have a dog that's featured on your show a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Laziest dog in the world.
Well, hopefully people appreciated the humor of those two songs. It was a special moment when I was ranting about the teleporting dog, but and I, like I said, we had some different images on the one that I saw, but it's still funny with those images. So look, so any last minute questions or things that you want to tell us? First of all, if you haven't done so, by the way, and you listen to this whole show, make sure that if you haven't, that you've gone to BronxTails True Crimes channel on YouTube. Robin, if we can post the links, maybe we can post the links to the channels, both to her channel and to True Crime Cafe, Dago's show as well. Make sure that you like and subscribe to both of these special YouTubers. We consider them right in our wheelhouse. They're like family, at least for sure for Dago. Logan, I'm just getting used to you, but you know, you're close. I think you're going to be like one of the family as well. But anyways, we like your vibe. So I really appreciate everything that you guys do. Make sure you follow those channels. They're doing great things. They cover different, all of us have a slightly different focus and spin. I wouldn't say spin. Spin makes it sound like we're just spinning shit. We all are asking legitimate questions. We're not doing this just to put a spin on shit. Unlike, I think, mainstream media that literally puts a spin on shit. We're actually just asking questions and trying to make sense of a narrative and a mystery that has been going for 3 years. Any last minute comments, questions that Dago or Logan want to share with the group or ask at all before we say our good nights?
No, I was just thinking that it would be really great to come back on a regular basis, possibly to really kind of dig into some specifics and bounce that off of each other. I know we kind of just did like a broad covering of everything tonight, but it would be cool to come back and really dig into some specifics on different cases and this case.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. We also would like to have you on as a regular basis as well. So if you, I was going to pitch that to you after the show. So I'm glad that you mentioned that first. So yeah, we would love that. I'd love to have you. We right now go every single night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. On Sundays, I'm not around because the team goes without me. I take one night off a week. Other than that, I'm on every single night.
We get to play.
Yeah. I would love to have you have a kind of a standing invitation to come to any of them that you're willing to come to and join us on screen and share the panel experience. We'd love that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love that too. Let's make it a date.
I love it. I love it. So yeah, we will start sending you invites to all the shows and bring you on to the family and the channel. And we're gonna have to make a cartoon avatar of you now. Fuck! Like now we have to have a cartoon avatar.
Get on it, Dago.
I
already on it.
I already have Molly working on it. I was hoping she'd say that. As long as she's not replacing me, that's fine with me. So.
Oh, wait a minute. We're not.
That's it. Dago, you're out. You're out, Dago.
He still wants to come. Jesus.
Your sauce was too spicy.
Yeah. Of course you're staying, dude.
Probably. It happens all the time. But I already have Molly working on that in the background. So.
All right. So here's what we do as a tradition when we round up the night. I want to go around the horn. I mix it up a little bit from time to time. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have Robin go. I'm going to have one go. I'm going to have Dago go. I'll give Logan the last word before me, and then I'll close this out. So everybody gets their time on full screen to say their goodnight with your thoughts that you want to have. So Robin, you're up. What do you got?
Well, this has been an amazing night, Logan. It's been such a pleasure having you with us. Welcome to the family. It's going to be great having you on with us more often, whenever you can. And thanks for everyone on all 3 channels, the trifecta of true crime, if you will, for tuning in tonight, hanging out with us. And, it was great seeing Jody from the Defense Rest in the house. Make sure I did put the link for both Dago and Logan's channels in the chat. Make sure you show their channel some love if you haven't already. And we couldn't do what we do if we didn't have all of you. Oh, wow. I didn't even intend to do poetry, but okay.
You're a poet and you didn't know it. A poet and you
what?
didn't know it.
So,
all right, one, look up, damn it. Look up and make eye contact. What do you got?
I'm here. Thanks, Meatballs, Denizens, BronxTails True Crime groupies. Thanks everyone for joining in. Make sure you hit subscribe. Great discussion. I hoped you liked engaging the panel, Logan. It was a treat to have you come on. We kind of like kidnapped Dago. I don't know, what was it, a month or two ago, whatever it was. We snatched him up, but we have a great time on the show. It's nice to have some laughs, once in a while. Obviously we deal with extremely serious topics, and we don't take that at a joking manner, but ever so often it is nice to escape a little bit and have some laughs. So thank you everyone. And just a reminder, as tomorrow we will be having a show at the same time, and we are covering still further down with what we've been covering, Kurt Cobain, the next kind of chapters of, I believe this is episode 3. Are we at episode 3 already, or 4? I see.
Yeah.
I lose track of my days. Boss works me too hard. So hope everyone tunes in. It's a little different kind of show in case that we cover, but it's great discussion, and hope to see you tomorrow.
Awesome. All right. And Dago, what are your closing thoughts for the evening?
Well, everyone, it was nice to know you. I appreciate the time I've had here. They bring a pretty blonde woman on, and I'm out the door like nothing. It's crazy.
It happens. We all get replaced at some point.
It's a fugazi, Hey, I'm just kidding. I love you guys to death. All of you, all 3 of the communities. Thank you all for being here. You're all absolutely amazing and wonderful. I appreciate the support from all of you guys. I'm looking forward to actually being able to work with Logan on a regular basis. I was kind of excited to hear her say that. I kind of anticipated hoping that she'd say that, which is why I said something to Molly 3 hours ago. So now we have to get Molly working on a superhero version of Logan, which probably isn't going to be hard. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited. It was a great show tonight, as always. Great questions, great communities, great people. And I can't wait for the next one. And like one said, guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow for I think it's episode 4 of the Kurt Cobain situation. that we've been covering. I'm looking forward to that as well. And hopefully I'll be a little bit better and not as nasal as I was today, guys. I missed you guys last night. That's why. So thank you so much again for having me and all of us. So thank you very much.
And before I bring Logan up, I want to say, Logan, that I really appreciate that you're going to give me another shot. I feel like I didn't feature you as much as you should have been featured. But guess what? I get to redeem myself by having you on the show more often. So you'll get featured and people will get to know you. So I'm glad that I at least get to redeem myself. Do you have any closing thoughts for the evening?
Yeah, I do. I just want to thank all of you guys for inviting me on the show and having welcoming arms for me tonight and being so warm to me. I want to thank all the viewers, everybody who tuned in. We appreciate all of you. This wouldn't be a show without you guys. So as I always say, do something nice for yourself, be kind, but more importantly, be kind to your animals. And of course, I will see you guys soon back on this show.
I love it. And we will try to at a minimum do what we're doing right now, scrolling across the bottom, so that if you're co-streaming to your shows, people sign into you, they're like, what the hell's going on? They at least can kind of figure out that you're on our show kind of thing. But we'll try to get you worked into the branding more so that you guys can represent your channels. Because the other night we had somebody come in on Dago going, what the hell's going on? Why is this Devil's Advocates on Dago's show? So we'll try to do better at branding. We have these other platforms going with us. We're doing cool things here.
Do you have a nickname for your community? Like I have Meatballs and they have Denizens. Do you have a name like that, Logan?
So I started with just like the Believers because I wanted it to start with a B, but I'm trying to think of something else, honestly.
Ooh, we get to help you maybe come up with a name for your community and help them. We should do a poll or something some night. And
do a poll.
See what we should call it. Yeah, everybody loves a good poll. Anyways, I will say good evening to everyone. Thank you all for coming on a Saturday night. The group's going without me tomorrow night. If Logan, if you want to come into the group when I'm not here and see how things are when the cat's away, then you can come play with the mice when I'm away. Other than that, I will see you on Monday when we all go together as a family, and I am looking forward to our future collaborations together. Thanks, everybody, and have a great evening.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.